Hello, today we are going to be looking at A Christmas Carol exam hack where I teach you something that is going to help you for any A Christmas Carol essay. I'm going to argue today that in A Christmas Carol, every possible exam question that you can get is the same question. So we're going to take a look at a few questions so that you can see what I mean. So these say, how does Dickens present Scrooge as an ignorant character? How does Dickens present selfishness and its effects? How does Dickens present Scrooge as an unlikable character? The importance of Christmas, the importance of family, and kindness and generosity. Now, all of those questions might sound different. They're actually about transformation. And so we only ever need to speak about that for any A Christmas Carol exam. Let's take a look at one. How does Dickens present Scrooge as an ignorant character? Well, Scrooge starts off as an ignorant man, but then he transforms and becomes enlightened. So the question is just about transformation. Okay, so this one says, how does Dickens present the importance of family? Might seem like a completely different question. But actually, if we think about it, well, Scrooge does not value family at the start, but then he transforms and he learns the value of family. So for that exam question, it's the same. You just have to talk about how he transforms, but that time in terms of family. This one says, explore how Dickens presents kindness and generosity in A Christmas Carol. So if we think about it, Scrooge is not kind or generous at the start, but then he transforms. He becomes kind and generous by the end. So again, you're just having to talk about transformation. So you might be thinking, will this still work for all the gross questions? Because the ones we just looked at are relatively easy in comparison. So let's have a look at some horrible examples. You've got, how does Dickens present the character of Fred as important to the novella? How does Dickens use the character of Tiny Tim to show his ideas about social responsibility? Gross. How does Dickens use the three spirits to present his ideas? How does Dickens present the importance of the past in A Christmas Carol? Now, all of those are horrible questions, but you've just got to think about them a little bit more, and we actually can apply the exact same thing. So let's have a look. How does Dickens present the character of Fred as important in the novella? Well, Fred's only important because he aids Scrooge's transformation. So you just need to say that Scrooge is selfish and cruel, but Fred demonstrates how to be kinder, and Scrooge transforms and becomes kind and generous like Fred. So it's still a Scrooge question. Let's take a look at another one. How does Dickens use the character of Tiny Tim to show his ideas about social responsibility? Again, Tiny Tim is only a character that's there to aid Scrooge's transformation. Scrooge doesn't understand social responsibility, but seeing Tiny Tim's struggles means that he transforms and becomes socially responsible by the end of the novella. Another one. How does Dickens use the three spirits to present his ideas? Again, the three spirits are only there to aid Scrooge's transformation. Scrooge is ignorant at the start, and the three spirits show him the error of his ways, and he's able to transform and become enlightened. Another one, how does Dickens present the importance of the past? Arguably, like the worst question you could get. But think about it. Seeing the past helps aid Scrooge's transformation. He's selfish and greedy. So the ghost of Christmas past reminds him of the importance of human connection rather than money. And Scrooge transforms and values human connection. So, see, we did it. All of the questions that you could possibly get for A Christmas Carol are all about Scrooge's transformation. You will never be arguing for anything else. Now, I've got a challenge for you. If you can think of any question that this system won't work for, any question where I'm not just writing a transformation essay, you come to my classroom, 2L5, and you tell me it because I guarantee you can't.